Welcome in, everyone, to episode 52 of the Meme Streams 32 Teams podcast. I'm Justin,
I'm Eddie.
and week 10, right? Yeah, week 10 is behind
10.
us.
Week 11. Yeah.
Week 10 is behind us. I just looked at 3 different places. Week 10 is behind us. We are going into
Look,
week 11.
Saw Thursday, November 11th.
I-
Is when the week 10 started.
Oh, I was like, it's not November 11th. I'm
when
like,
week 10 started.
I'm losing it. Oh, man. This is... Everyone listen, this might be a fun episode for you guys, because we might... Anyways, me and Eddie got to watch football this weekend together. The Cowboys and Falcons did play each other, so we got to watch our teams. Well, okay. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, fair,
Cowboys
fair.
played.
Okay, that's fair. We got to watch our teams be in the same stadium for once. Didn't get to go to the game, but next time they do play, we'll be good. We will be attending the game. Words.
Good?
I guess. We're going to figure it out. But as we always do, let's jump into the news and injuries going into week 11. So Cordell Patterson, it doesn't look like that, but yeah, whatever. Running back, wide receiver, Swiss Army knife for the Falcons. Could miss Thursday with a sprained ankle.
Has practiced all week, but
the short week is
being limited.
Yeah, short week is going to affect that. Minkah Fitzpatrick for the Steelers is on the COVID-19 list, so he joins Big Ben. Tua is going to start week 11, despite his finger not being fully healed. But he came in this past week and played pretty well. We'll talk about that.
He did all right.
Yeah, he did okay, you know. The Washington football team, they lose Chase Young for the season to a torn ACL, which is... Obviously, I don't want him to get injured. We don't want anyone to get injured. But it doesn't really affect their season.
Yeah, Washington somehow beat Tampa, which, again, we'll get to that. But that's their third win, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And I mean...
Stopped the 4-game skid, but...
honestly should have been like a 12-game skid, but...
Yeah.
But in other news with Washington, Fitzpatrick is not expected to return this season, which is a bit weird because they thought he would return like halfway through the season, and then...
Now-ish.
Yeah, and they were just like, well, just no. No.
So that's curious, considering I don't think he's ever been on a team more than 2 years. So are they just letting him go?
He's been on a few teams for more than 2 years. He's played on like 12 teams in 90 years.
Yeah.
You know.
He's on a 1-year contract worth $10 million this year.
I would be shocked if he comes back.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. Right. But moving on, Aaron Jones has a mild MCL sprain, so he's out 1 to 2 weeks, which is a big loss for the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers will do Aaron Rodgers things, and they'll go win football games, so, you know, who cares? Cam Newton should start week 11. They're hoping to get him up to speed fully.
Better start.
Yeah, and get him under center starting week 11. I mean... scored 2 touchdowns in week 10. So
didn't miss a beat.
No. I mean,
at all.
I think he should have been on the team by now. So the Panthers are pretty fortunate that he was still there going into week 10.
Yeah. We'll see more of him.
We should.
We will.
Fingers crossed that nothing happens to him.
If yeah. Carolina wants to make a run, they will play him.
Julio Jones has been placed on short-term IR, so he'll be out minimum of 3 weeks. OBJ did sign with the Rams on a 1-year deal.
Like Thursday or Friday of last week.
Yeah, it was a very short turnaround for him to get on the field. Speaking of the Panthers, Sam Darnold has been placed on the IR, and he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Joe Flacco has been named the starter for the Jets going into week 11, which makes sense because Mike White said he should be a first-round pick and then threw 4 picks. And so Mike White is out of the building. I mean, he's still in the building, but yeah. And then Le'Veon Bell has been released from retirement home V2 in Baltimore. So that is all the news.
Crazy to think that Baltimore is getting rid of running backs.
Yeah.
Considering they've signed and put on IR like 7 this year?
I'm just waiting. I don't. They just have like bad juju. I'm just waiting for another running back to get injured, and then Le'Veon Bell ends up back in Baltimore.
Back on the team?
So,
Well,
well, we'll see what
go and
happens.
go and start talking about Baltimore and their attempt to play football Thursday night against Miami.
I know
Miami
you were on
won
a flight.
22-10. I was, but
You
I mean,
you didn't get to
saw
watch
the
much of this
first half
game.
of it. I saw the first half of it, and then landed and saw 22-10. And I think I put something in Discord at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, what the heck happened?
Yeah, I don't really
I mean,
know. This this game.
it wasn't supposed to go this way, obviously. But I just love looking on these games that end up this way, where it's like the underdog somehow won,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't like a game-winning field goal as time expired. I like looking at the win probability as it just kind of like staggers slowly in the direction of the underdog.
Yeah.
But no, nothing about this game. I guess Tua. Nothing about this game is like, oh wow, that was a really good game. From the first half that I watched sitting at the terminal, it was slow to say the least. There wasn't really much of anything happening. Missed
Yeah.
field goal by the Ravens, which could have been some kind of momentum, but then Dolphins ended up going three and out, and then the Ravens went three and out, and then the Dolphins went three and out, and then the Ravens went three and out. So it wasn't much of a.
I
I
really
don't want to
don't
say
know
it
what
wasn't much of a game. It just wasn't really much of anything.
I don't know what to take away from this game, like at all. Because like I
I
don't
don't
think the
know.
Dolphins. I mean, yeah, they beat the Ravens, right? So good on them.
Tua
But
had a good outing.
he did 8 for 13, 158, and they rushed for a touchdown.
Yeah. So Tua had a good outing. Could bode well for them going forward. He is going to start this week, so hopefully we can see him in full effect against the Jets. Good team to kind of get a tune up in on.
I
But
don't know,
yeah,
man.
this
It's it's
this this
weird.
is
This
go
like
ahead.
this season is just weird because
As a whole,
everybody is losing to everybody.
pretty much. Like I'm pretty sure if we wanted to go and look at it, the circle of suck has been completed or is very close to being completed
I would agree that it's probably done.
because Carolina or not
But
Carolina. Well, yeah, Carolina beat the
well, we're waiting
Cardinals.
on
That was their
Detroit.
second
We're
loss.
waiting on Detroit to get a win.
Oh, you're right.
I forgot. Yeah, their game.
So it can't be completed just yet. They almost did it. We'll
They,
get there.
that game was
We got
something.
we both got something to say about that
That
one.
that game was something. But I don't know, man. It's hard to like
There
gauge
isn't really
this
a great takeaway from this.
because this sort of reminds me of like the Cowboys losing to the Broncos, right? Like the better team looked abysmal,
Hmm.
and the other team, I will give credit. The Broncos in that game looked much better than the Dolphins did in this game.
Yes,
Dolphins looked good, but not like how the Broncos played.
not beat the Ravens on a normal week. Good. If they
Yeah,
play again, I imagine it would be the opposite.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, this does feel right that the Ravens drop a random game like this
they do it every
because if
year.
exactly, I mean, if we look at the rest of their schedule, I see two games that they should struggle in, maybe three games that they should struggle in the rest of the season if they play how they're supposed to play.
They're in a rough spot because they have 5 division games left.
Yeah, but they're sitting in first place right now in the division, AFC North. So it's still theirs to lose. But those five divisional games could really turn that tide because we talked about them last week. The AFC North as a whole, we talked about it last week. All of them were in within one game of each other, and they're still all within one game of each other.
Are you
So, well, with
that
the
Pittsburgh
Steelers
tie
tied, but
is gonna play a factor 100% in some
oh
sort
yeah,
of playoff standings, either for this division or for the 6th or 7th seed in the playoffs. Like that tie is going to be huge.
Well, yeah, if they end up with 10 wins and the Chargers end up with 10 wins, the Steelers are going to get the spot because
Mm-hmm.
10-6-1 looks better than 10-7.
Yeah.
And they're going to sneak into the playoffs because of that.
So the Ravens and the Bengals are sort of on a real tight leash, so they have to play almost perfect in the season because that tie just adds more pressure, which sounds really dumb, right? Like you didn't even lose, you didn't even win.
This is the only time where I kind of wish the NFL was similar to college and how they do their rankings to determine. Like that was not you've heard the term quality loss.
Mm-hmm.
This was not a quality tie. Like if I had this like if they would have done this against the Bengals or they would have done this against somebody like the Chiefs, I could see that meaning more than the 0-8 Lions. They couldn't beat the 0-8 Lions.
A quality tie. That sentence hurts my brain.
That's the best way I can describe. I can put this into words about how this game is going to affect things. Because you put them against the 10-7 Chargers at the end of the season, they're 10-6, and the Steelers are 10-7-1, 10-6-1, because of the way that it works out, and the NFL only looks at win loss tie. They get the seventh seed.
I don't know, man. Let's just talk about that game because.
Yeah. So this game came on after the abysmal outing
Mm-hmm.
by the Falcons. So we got to watch the last 2-3 minutes and all of overtime of it in the bar with the other patrons of the bar who were all 100% invested in this game. And I think there were like 4 or 5 possessions in overtime.
There were a total of 7,
Oh yeah,
including the final play.
okay, so 6, including 2 fumbles and a missed field goal by the Lions.
There were 7 total drives in 10 minutes of football. No one wanted
And
to
Najee
win.
Harris didn't know it was over. I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw
because
that
he
or
said,
not.
I
Najee,
didn't know you could tie. Oh my gosh, dude.
oh, it was good.
We have
This
Jamar
this
Chase before the
game,
season. I don't think I can catch an NFL football because it doesn't have the white lines on it. Najee Harris. I don't know if football ends in a tie. These rookies not know football? I'm so confused.
NFL football rules are different.
Oh,
Balls
okay.
are
My
different.
bad. My bad.
Yeah,
I apologize.
yeah. And again, I feel like we've said this 1,000 times, either just in a normal conversation or on the podcast. I hate to pin it down to one specific play, one specific call, whatever. Lions missed an extra point
And they missed the
at the
field
beginning
goal.
of the third quarter, and they missed the field goal. Field goal that happens, then they make that extra point, which arguably has less pressure on you than a field goal. They win this game.
Here's the worst part. It was a 48-yarder, and it was short. I forgot if it got tipped or not, so if it got tipped,
Oh, good point.
I have less
But
inclination
still,
to call him out on it, but if anyone watched
oh,
overtime in this game, nobody wanted to win. Let's be
it
honest.
was literally no, you have it. No, you have it. No, you have it. It was just, oh man, 16-16.
The Steelers fumbled twice in overtime. Twice.
Yeah.
It's funny because I would if I saw this game, right, like take away the records or keep just the Steelers record and just the Lions record, I'd be like, I don't think the Steelers have a chance of making playoffs with this tie. And then you pull up the standings
And you see their whole the division leader is at 6-4,
and you go, oh, they're the 5th seed in the AFC right now.
and they're how does that work? Half a game, 1 game back, because Ravens are 6-4 leading.
Ravens are they 6-4?
6-3, 6-4, might be 6-3.
They're 6
We
and
were
3.
just looking at them 6-3, so they're half a game back.
Mm-hmm.
Then, yeah, if you just look at it like without any knowledge outside of this game, I think Pittsburgh has no shot
They're in sole possession of 5th place. They are
because of
the
the tie.
number 1 wild card team.
They will always be in sole possession of whatever place they're in because of that tie.
Unless
They
someone
won't even
else
have to worry about
does.
until there's another tie. They will that they just finish their tiebreaker in week 10. Please let there be somebody else tie, and let's just cause chaos
The
because of
last thing
ties.
I want to
Jesus,
say about the NFC North is that,
AFC
like,
North.
in this AFC, thank you, in this game, is I don't know who wins the division anymore. I just don't.
It's wide open. It really is.
I don't know. Okay, I just don't.
If you want to go ahead and talk about Cleveland and their outing,
I, dude,
getting go ahead and move on to the next AFC North team. Cleveland lost 7-45 to the Mac Jones led Patriots, who, credit where credit's due, I have not been a Mac Jones fan all season because I don't believe Alabama quarterbacks can perform in the NFL. Right now, he's proving me wrong, and if he takes them to the playoffs and they succeed, hats off to him. Bill Belichick's a mastermind. We knew that
the
already.
thing that he needs to do to prove you wrong, because I feel like I understand your sentiment toward Alabama quarterbacks. Like, they haven't been good. This was the first week ever that Mac Jones, Jalen Hurts, and Tua all won a game. All 3
Yes,
Alabama quarterbacks. I think the thing for you is you need to separate this season versus long term, because no Alabama quarterback has had long term success or long
correct,
term like longevity.
correct.
So we'll see if he can continue what he's doing. But since
All
he is
any
under
of them for
Bill
that matter,
Belichick,
but specifically Mac Jones. Yeah,
I have no doubt that he's going to be successful for a stupid amount of time.
for at least his rookie years, his
Because
rookie
the
contract.
thing with Mac Jones that's like really just like impressing me is he's not like forcing anything. Like, he is playing right within the boundaries of being a great quarterback,
He's playing smart football.
which is only going to work if you have Bill Belichick as your coach.
Yeah, there's very few quarterback or very few head coaches, offensive coordinators that can lead somebody this young in that direction, and it's Bill Belichick, Nick Saban. I think that's the end of the list.
I j- Why? Why the Patriots? Why do they get a guy like Mac Jones? They didn't have to trade for him. They didn't have to do anything.
No,
He just
he
fell
just
right into their
fell
lap. And then look
at
at him.
15,
Look at this. I'm okay.
and he's playing smart football. 9 for 23. He made either 4 bad passes. He made 4 incompletions. That could be bad pass. That could be a drop. That could be swatted. That could be thrown away. If he does any of those 4 times in a game, and it's only 4 times a game, I, I can't be mad about that.
My only issue with Mac Jones, because I'm looking at these game logs for him.
Hmm.
My only issue is, can he go out and win a close game through the air?
Yeah,
Because their 4 losses, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 2-1, 1-3, 1-0. But when he wins, 0-0, 1-1, 2-0, 0-0, 1-1, 3-0. He does a great job of, outside of that 3 interception game, right? He's thrown 4 picks in 9 games.
since that 3 interception game, he's thrown
Oh.
11-4.
I'm just worried, like, obviously he hasn't had to, in like a true, like, we have to win this game type of situation. But I'm just wondering if he can win the game. Like, the run game's not working, the defense is struggling. Like, can Mac Jones go in and win the game for his team?
I
That's
want
my
to
only.
see his
That's my
his
only
2 minute
question
drill.
mark.
I want to see his 2 minute drill in full effect.
Yeah, like a late game. I mean, he got. They probably should have beat Tampa Bay. Let's be honest.
That's the game I just pulled up to look at real quick too. They
I
missed the
mean,
field goal.
he took them almost 50 yards in.
A minute, right over a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like he's
So
got it. I want to see if he can win the game if nothing else is working. That's
yeah,
my only question mark for him. Everything else for me, like,
because we've seen quarterbacks: Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Tony Romo was one of the greatest. We've seen Ben Roethlisberger in his heyday. We've seen these quarterbacks literally put the team on their back for that final minute and a half, 2 minutes of the game. And they go 7 for 7 for 65 yards and set up the game winning field goal.
yeah, another
That's
question
not
mark.
easy to do. But
Everything else, I have no complaints with Mac Jones.
no, he's trending in the right direction. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Bill Belichick is teaching him how to sell his soul, I guess. I don't know.
On the other side, dude, the Browns, I think,
These last couple weeks for them have been brutal.
well, you can't really say that when they lose OBJ and then go into Cincinnati and win 41-16.
Yeah, which we thought would have been maybe
The opposite.
a spark. Or either it was going to be the complete opposite, or because of how it ended up being, that was just going to be a spark for them.
I
That was going to
wonder.
start
I wonder
snowballing.
if it was like a let's prove to the media that we don't need OBJ. And then they were like,
Okay, now we
we
did
did
that. We
it.
go back to being bad.
Yeah, like it doesn't help that Baker got injured in this game and banged up, but like
Yeah,
I don't know, man. This Browns team has more question marks, more
yeah. No,
more and more
they. I
question
mean,
marks.
probably about week 5, me and you both were super super high on them after they lost that game to the Chargers. They barely lost to the Chiefs, who now we see are. Well, they are a question mark too. We'll get there. Barely lost to the Chiefs. Barely lost to the Chargers. We're going into the Cardinals game at 3-2, and we were both super high on them. Lost to the Cardinals, barely beat the Broncos, lost to the Steelers, lost OBJ, destroyed the Bengals, and then got destroyed by the Patriots. The
I don't know, man.
the Browns are with like 15, 20 other teams that's like just question marks right now.
It's what I said last week. If you remember, I said with both the Bengals and the Browns, I have too many question marks. Both these teams have to like. I will see how they trend after that game.
Correct.
Well,
Here we go.
Cleveland plays Detroit. If they lose to Detroit,
Full panic. And their chances of, depending on what the rest of the division does, their chances of playoffs drop dramatically if they lose
yeah,
to Detroit.
I don't know, man. They have a tough schedule. After the Lions, they go Ravens, Raiders, Packers,
Oh, yeah, they do the Ravens
and
Ravens thing.
then the Steelers and Bengals, two division games. I don't know, man. I don't see them making the playoffs at this
Not at
point.
this rate.
I really don't. I think
Just to
the
come,
loss to the Steelers at 15-10 obviously
that
doesn't
hurts
help.
them because it's division.
And then getting smacked by the Patriots. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Well,
man.
the AFC West is wide open because it feels like nobody wants to take it. And to round out, or the AFC North, and to round out the AFC North, Bengals are on bye. They may
Perfect.
have had the best week.
Um, yeah, we'll jump to another game because that game was a mess. Uh, Dallas beat Atlanta 43-3. I don't really feel like talking about it. Do you?
Not no.
Okay. All right.
It was Cowboys showed up, played the game how it's supposed to be played, and Falcons let them.
Yeah. The Bills beat the Jets 45-17. Don't really care. We know Mike White is benched now. Joe Flacco's starting.
Bills
Done.
showed up, played their game. Jets pretty much let them.
New Orleans went into Tennessee and barely lost. Tennessee ended up pulling out the game 23-21. It was a missed 2-point conversion with a minute 16 to go in the game by New Orleans.
Which they had to do. We talked about in the
Mm-hmm.
past couple games, like you didn't have to do that, just take the points. They had to do this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is their second game without Derrick Henry, who is still tied for most rushing yards in the league. Obviously, he will lose that this week to, I think it's Jonathan Taylor. for the Colts, who's currently tied with.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, this was a good game on both sides. Tennessee's finding ways to replace the productivity that they've lost in Derrick Henry for the second week. Not necessarily getting it done on the ground as much as they had hoped, I'd imagine. But you just lost the NFL leading rusher who was on pace for like 18,000 yards or something.
He's something close to
So
that.
they had to find another way to do it, and Tannehill's getting it done through the air with who he's got left.
Yeah, I think this is another testament to the Titans defense stepping up when it needs to.
Yes.
So I honestly think that the Titans are the best team in the AFC for me. I know the record shows that, but sometimes the record doesn't show that the best team, right?
I mean, the record can show that, but they're without Derrick Henry. That's who we've, for the first 8 weeks of the season, have he was the MVP of the season, and like he was going to get the MVP trophy at the end of the year, in my eyes.
Yeah.
And obviously, they just lost the number one leading MVP candidate. He's gone, and with him went 45% of this team's production on offense. While they haven't made up all 45% of that on offense, like you said, the defense has really stepped it up to where they haven't felt it as bad.
Yeah. On the other side, dude, I just looked it up. Trevor Simeon in his 3 games, completion percentage not good, 57%. But he's thrown 5 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Don't give the ball away; they can make stuff happen.
And
Kept them close.
unfortunately, in back-to-back weeks, they've lost by 2 points. So Trevor Simeon is close
Yeah,
to being 3-0.
but he's 0
He's
or
1
1.
and 2. They beat the
Yeah,
Bucks in his first start, or not start his when
whenever
he.
he came in, took over.
So I don't know, man. I think Trevor Simeon is figuring it out under Sean Payton. I don't. I could see. I still have faith in them to make playoffs with Simeon.
Yes.
They need Kamara to get healthy. So he's.
Congratulations, Mark Ingram, being the leading rusher in New Orleans now of all
Hmm,
time.
I did not know that.
He got that, I believe it was this week. He surpassed Deuce McAllister.
Man, what a running back he was. Huh. Interesting. Good for him.
Yeah, Simeon's this close to figuring it out, and as long as
It doesn't help. Like
question,
I think if Kamara was in this game, I think they win.
yeah. But question, okay, well, yeah, that's one thing, but um, can Tennessee continue on the train, or can Tennessee's defense continue to pick up the slack or fill the hole of Derrick Henry, however you want to say it?
I don't think they end up as the 1 seed in the AFC. I think they're gonna drop another game or two where they probably shouldn't. Just because of a lack, like you said, 45%. Pretty
That's
egregious,
just
but
a rough estimate,
seems probably
but
right. Um, so I think they will drop a game at some point that they shouldn't, maybe 2, and it will
yeah.
cause them to not get the first seed in the AFC. But I think this team is still poised to make a deep playoff run. Like
I agree.
I could see this team somehow without Derrick Henry reaching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, honestly, yes. Just briefly thinking who else is in the AFC. Well, the Chiefs may have turned it around, so we don't know where they're going to be in 7 weeks. Patriots may have a shot at doing something. Bills are still rolling.
The thing is that
Colts are on the outside looking in.
the Titans have looked the best, but they haven't looked like perfect or near perfect or amazing. It's just like I said earlier, everyone just seems to be losing to everyone. And on any given Sunday,
Any given
right?
Sunday.
Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's exactly what it is. Is
So
literally the any given Sunday thing.
the Titans are figuring out where they can. I like I said, I still think they can make the Super Bowl, but we'll see. I don't think they end as the number 1 seed though.
Who do you give the number 1 seed? If you had to guess right now.
Probably the Bills,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be like Bills
One
13
win.
and 4
Yeah.
or 14 and 3, and then the Titans a loss right below them. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
The Titans own the tiebreaker on the Bills because they beat them. Um, so, and with how the Bucks have been playing, dude, I mean, this Saints team, like, imagine if they'd won the past 2 games, they'd be in first in the division.
Yeah, honestly, yes.
So,
And it's not like, I mean, with Kamara there being healthy, whether or not Jameis is there or not, this team, and we know Jameis won't return. This team is not bad.
mm-mm.
I'm not going to say they're great. They're good. They're not bad. They have a chance, especially with that win over Tampa Bay. That really helps them. But still a lot of football to go. We're halfway through the season. Most of these teams still got 8 games to go.
And with Kamara comes back, I mean, he practiced today, so he should be trending to play this week. But once he comes back, I mean, that team just gets better with Kamara, right?
Yeah,
So,
but that's one of the things. Definitely at this point, don't rush him back
100%.
because you rush him back, push him, something happens, he's gone for the season, and then you're really gonna have a lot to figure out. But
But speaking of running backs,
they know better than yes,
Jonathan Taylor is trying his hardest to impersonate Derrick Henry and carry his team to victory week in and week out.
doing pretty good at it too.
I mean, yeah. The Colts had Jacksonville show up, and they sent him home packing 23-17. So, I don't know, man. I'm still shocked that Jacksonville has 2 wins.
They
And
could have been the one.
and the way that Indy has been playing, I don't think 5-5 is fair. They are currently the 10th seed in the AFC.
They are better than 5-5.
I do not think that record matches up. Obviously, it took a little bit for Carson Wentz to get going, and Jonathan Taylor. Like the team is really hitting a stride, which is a bit terrifying because most teams that do well in playoffs hit a stride toward the end of November into December and into January.
hmm
So if the Colts can start to figure it out, this team could be a dark horse going into the playoffs.
This team, I mean, they're still very close. Well, they don't think they'll take over Tennessee in the division.
Mm. Unless Tennessee just starts to,
Just
big
drops
time.
everything.
Yeah.
But so not much of a chance in the division, but I agree they could probably sneak in there at probably as high as the 6th seed.
I mean, they're half a game back on the 7th seed. So,
Yeah, I think
and
they could finish out of the 6th seed because, again, looking at the rest of their season, they don't have an easy season to finish out, easy schedule to finish out. But if they're playing the way that they seem to be working, barely losing to the Titans with Derrick Henry, they beat
mhm.
the 49ers. They already beat the Texans once. They beat the brakes off the Jets, apart from those couple garbage times. Um, and then they just barely snuck by the Jaguars, but they're starting to gain traction.
Mhm.
The Bills this week is going to be a tough one for them, obviously. But who's to say they couldn't beat them?
I mean,
The Bucks
The
lost,
Bills lost to the Jags, so
yeah, and the Bucks lost to the Saints,
and the Bucks lost to Washington in this past
and the
weekend,
Bucks just lost to
and we'll
Washington.
talk about
So
that
I
in a
mean,
second. But
yeah. And then they've got the Texans again. They've got the Cardinals who are struggling as of late. Got the Jaguars
I
again.
don't
They
know, man.
very well
I,
could.
I
They
think
could make a run.
I think
They
they
could
could hit the
definitely make a run.
7th seed and could shake up some things.
If I had to pick for their like right now a team to have an upset wild card weekend of the playoffs, it's the Colts. The Colts will be on the winning side of that upset.
I would agree. That'd probably be my top wild card upset team. But on the other side, I don't know, man. There's not much about the Jags. Like Trevor Lawrence
You
is
got
like James Robinson is doing his thing, right? Like
yeah.
he's their bright star. But like Trevor Lawrence in all of his games this season has thrown 8 touchdowns and 9 picks. Like
Nothing impressive at all.
Like, I'm sad that I said that Zach Wilson would have a better season than Trevor Lawrence, because obviously that's not true at all. But also,
Should
like,
have.
Trevor Lawrence isn't having like a mediocre season. He hasn't hit 2,000 yards. He has a 58% completion rate, 8 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
If I'm the Jaguars, I'm looking at drafting somebody else or free agencies.
He almost averages more yards per rush, or he almost like matches his passing yards per pass with his rushing yards. Like he's starting to creep up there.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a stat.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
I
don't
don't
know,
know. They
man.
got a lot of issues. We knew they had a lot of issues.
We knew it was coming in with a new quarterback. I mean, a
New head
rookie quarterback
coach.
and a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
So like,
It is.
it is
It
what it
it
is.
is what it
I
is.
think James Robinson's their only bright star, and he was the
Yeah.
same way toward the end of last season. So
I mean, if I'm them, I mean they've got Trevor Lawrence unless they want to Josh Rosen him. They've got Trevor Lawrence for the next couple years.
mhm.
He was amazing in college. Give him another year to build around him, see what happens, and he'll have his running back
I
next
was gonna
year.
say I wouldn't be shocked if they trade James Robinson.
Yeah, because he'll have it. Anetti,
And
and
NTN,
Antony, yeah, something.
I don't know.
Antians.
They'll have Travis back.
Yeah, there you go.
So
So
I mean, James Robinson could end up in Atlanta.
please, please, please.
So I don't know. Indy's trending in the right direction. Jacksonville's just kind of existing. So
Jacksonville's wait until January, third week, second week of January, so they can go sit on the couch.
pretty much. Um, the final. No, this wasn't the final noon game. Um, but Tampa Bay went into Washington and
One?
no, Tampa Bay didn't win.
Oh no, sorry, Washington won. Yes.
Uh,
Wait, that okay? It was in Washington. I was thinking it was that.
Yeah, Washington won 29-19.
Odd score, not a scoregami though, unfortunately.
It, Tom Brady threw 2 picks.
Which is not like it.
Once again, the Bucks have no run game.
Seems to be a recurring issue. Mike Evans had 62 yards, and I think like 40 of them came on one play.
Mm, yeah, he
Yep.
had a 40-yard touchdown.
I love the put it in your face play that Washington made at the end of the game, though, going for the 2-point conversion with 30 seconds left. They
Yeah.
failed it. It was horrible. But why not? Had nothing to lose. I don't know. Washington, I mean, Washington's out. I don't think they're out mathematically, but they're out.
Yeah. This is
Tampa,
basically just building up. This from here to the end of the season. This is where Taylor Heinz Ketchup has to basically say like, I am that guy or I'm not that guy.
yeah, pretty
Like he
much.
has to because Fitzpatrick's not coming back. Like
Yeah, so
he
it's
knows
his.
now he is playing the
It's
rest of the
his.
season.
He's got 9. He's got 8 games left to make a name for himself in Washington, or not necessarily in Washington, but just as a quarterback in the NFL.
He's got to figure it
You s-
out because if he doesn't, either Fitzpatrick comes back and they start him immediately, or Washington goes out and finds someone else.
Yeah,
That's gonna be it. Because like on offense, yeah, their pieces have been like sort of like in and out of injury, but he's had pieces that can help him win almost every single week.
yeah,
And he's only put together 3 wins, so he
yeah.
needs to figure it out if he wants to
And
stay.
it's not like he doesn't have weapons.
This
Antonio
man's
Gibson, J.D. McKissick out of the backfield. He's got McLaurin. He's got what's his name? Seals Jones. What's his first name? Ricky.
He has Ricky Seals-Jones. He has Curtis Samuel, who's been in and out of injury. I mean, he has Adam Humphries. Like this guy's the weapons. They're there.
He's got plenty of a team. He just has to figure out how to use them.
Whatever he
And
did this game, he needs to do again because he went 26 for 32.
yeah, again, same thing I was saying about Mac Jones. He had 6 dropped, incomplete, swatted, thrown away passes. I'm not upset about that. He had no interceptions, which is the big bright spot there.
It's the third game this season he's done that.
Yeah. He's not he just needs to obviously he feels the pressure of being a starting quarterback in the NFL. I can't blame him there. He's young. It's his first time he's actually had the opportunity to start week over week over week. He just needs to you're not making the playoffs. Uh, just know that.
Yeah,
Just go out there and play.
this is when he
This is his chance.
keeps his
He,
job or he doesn't.
he's literally got half a season to say I'm the guy
And
with
who
no
knows?
competition.
Who knows, man? On the other side of the ball, dude, this Tampa Bay team.
They're feeling a lot like the Browns to me, with way more talent. Because you and I both said we harped on it for the first week of the season, first couple weeks before the season. They brought back all 22 starters that just won a Super Bowl.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna go through their schedule.
There are injuries, but go ahead.
So they barely beat the Cowboys, right?
Hmm.
They sort of smacked up you guys in Atlanta.
No surprise.
Got smacked by a Rams team that I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Barely beat the Patriots. Smacked up the Dolphins. Honestly, probably should have lost to Philly. There was that really bad taunting call at the end of the game.
Hmm.
Made the Bears look like they don't exist. Then lost to the Trevor Simeon led Saints. And then lost to a Heinz ketchup led Washington.
Lost to a ketchup bottle.
So they've lost 3 games. 2 to, I'm going to say, bottom half NFL quarterbacks. And they lost to Stafford, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
And they should have or could have lost another 3 games. This team could be 3-6 right now.
Yeah. They've had three wins. 3 you can for sure say they did not struggle in those games. Wins.
This is the thing that is like so scary about this team. It's because they have Tom Brady. That's it. If
Yep.
this team could scrape into the playoffs, sort of like they did last season, and then having Tom Brady in the playoffs, you just
Yeah. So
win.
it's not it's it's not something that you want to have in there. So I don't know. There's been just for shits and giggles, and this is kind of an outdated stat now that we have 7 in the playoffs on either side. There have been six seeds. Whenever there were only 6
Mm-hmm.
seeds, six seeds have made the Super Bowl. 4 of them have won.
Wow.
Sorry, no, hold on. I read that wrong.
4 out of the 6 have won the Super Bowl.
I read that wrong. Uno, one second. Hold on.
I was like, that's really impressive.
I was trying to read the little blurb
Oh,
that like barely explains everything.
I gotcha.
Talk for a second. I'll find it.
Dude, I don't know, man. This Tampa Bay team, I'm not high on them anymore, and I would not be shocked if they ended up losing the division. They play the Colts, they play the Bills, the Saints, and if Cam Newton is Cam Newton, they play the Panthers twice. Right, so if this team is losing to people, no offense to them, but if they're losing to people like Trevor Simeon, Taylor Heineke, I keep messing up his name with joke names that now I can't remember his actual name.
Heineke.
I wouldn't be shocked if he loses to Carson Wentz, Josh Allen, Trevor Simeon again, and Cam Newton. And maybe if Joe Flacco is relevant for half a game, they could lose to the Jets in January.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The way this team is playing, I would not be shocked. I'm going to say this. I would not be shocked if this team does not make the playoffs.
The Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll make the
I think
playoffs.
I think they'll make it, but if they fell out and didn't make it, I wouldn't be shocked.
I got you. Yeah,
I'd be like, that's how they've been playing.
that's just what happens.
You
Yeah,
got to be good if you want to make playoffs. And look,
but
you weren't good.
it's that whole thing that you said about the quarterback dude. That's really good.
Um,
Fortunately,
Thomas,
Roddy.
right, yeah, Thomas Brody.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, obviously, I think they're
Even
gonna
if they
make it.
do, yeah, even if they do fall, say Cam Newton and the Panthers just run away with it this year, and they win the division, and they just sneak into the wild card. There have been six seeds. I
Okay,
found it. Six seeds have made it to their respective conference championship game in the
okay.
playoffs. Only two have won it. '05 Steelers, 2010 Packers. Both of them won the Super Bowl. Unfortunately,
Take it back.
Tom Brady is that dude. Tom Brady could do that.
Yeah,
100%.
again, like I think they make the playoffs just because of Tom Brady. But the way they've been playing, I wouldn't
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, oh my god, the Bucks didn't make the playoffs. I'd be like, yeah, that's what you get for playing like you have.
That's what you get for playing piss poor ball against good teams.
So I don't know, man. I'm worried about the Bucks. If I'm a Bucks fan, I'm concerned. I'll put it that way.
Not as concerned as I am as the Falcons.
I
No,
mean,
take it
yeah,
back.
but that's
I've
it.
counted this out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, afternoon games.
But speaking of Cam Newton,
Yeah.
he got to
Tough time.
play some snaps in Arizona and
He did.
ended up
PJ
scoring
Walker was still the starter.
two touchdowns, and they won 34-10. I get it. Colt McCoy was
No
playing.
Kyler Murray.
No DeAndre Hopkins. I get it.
Regardless, you would expect a team at like the Cardinals to at least have some kind of showing up. Kind of like how Titans are without Derrick Henry. Other people fill other parts of the game fill that hole.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing about this that picked up the slack from Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins being out.
Nope. They did it the week before.
They did it the week before, but that's gotta. I mean, it's kind of the same thing that we say like, oh, Teddy Bridgewater went down, replacement just has to come in and survive for a couple weeks until Bridgewater's back.
Yep.
It's kind of the same situation, but they're set up at a spot right now where they are in control with people biting at their ankles.
Yep. 100%.
They can only hold on for so long. So I'm not worried about the Cardinals. They will get Kyler Murray back. They will
I
get
will be
DeAndre
worried
Hopkins
if
back.
they start losing when Kyler and DeAndre come back. That's when
That is
I
when it
will be
gets
concerned.
scary. Yes,
As
that
of
is
right
when it gets
now,
scary.
I do agree with you. They don't have them. A loss sucks, but
What can you do?
on the other side, all that I want to say on this game, because I don't want to talk about it too much personally, is that when Cam Newton starts next week, we will see how the Panthers will move forward.
Yes,
To
against
me,
Washington.
that's pretty much it. If Cam Newton shows up and plays Washington and throws 4 picks, the Panthers are kind of done. If he throws 4 touchdowns,
See, my biggest thing is I did not expect to see Cam Newton back in Carolina for one.
correct. Yep, I agree.
Now that he is back in Carolina and he's going to be the starter, I see it being more the 4 touchdown side than the 4 interception side
100%.
because he already has that instant chemistry with his team.
Yeah, and McCaffrey's back and healthy.
And McCaffrey's back and healthy. So maybe not 4 touchdowns because McCaffrey's going to do some stuff too.
Cam Newton's gonna rush for a touchdown.
So is McCaffrey.
This team is
Cam
gonna
Newton's going to throw a touchdown to McCaffrey.
I don't know, man. I've said it before, and I said it when he got cut. I'm really high on Cam Newton. I think he can still compete in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, Cam said it best. He said he's back. And
Yeah.
boy, is he.
Yeah.
But like, I agree with you though. Still, we'll see what he does against the Chase Youngless Washington this weekend.
Yeah. They need to have a good showing. They
Yes.
they just need to come out and just win.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's good for the Panthers to get him rolling now because they are the 7th seed, so they can in fact control their destiny at this point.
Yeah, because they
So,
still got those 2 games against the Bucks at the end of the year.
and if the Bucks start playing piss poor toward the end of the season, I mean the Panthers could sweep them and take the division, right? Like, or the Saints could take the division. I mean, the division's wide open. Technically,
Well, for 3 of them,
you guys are 2 games
we
back, which shouldn't
we
be
do have a
real.
chance. Technically, we have a chance. Mathematically, we have a chance.
Yeah,
We just lost by 40 points.
yeah, pretty much.
So
It's fine.
take that out, you will. Anyway,
But that does it for the
that's why I'm
noon
repping Dak.
games or the morning games. The afternoon games, we'll start with the Vikings going into LA, and they beat the
Congrats.
Chargers 27-20, and it keeps the trend of all but one game this season being one possession.
Well, congrats, you won, but I need something more than that. It was a down game for Herbert, down game for Eckler.
Dude, I don't even know what to think about the Chargers anymore. Like, barely beat the Browns in a shootout, right? In a game that I think the Browns should have won because of the bad PI call. Got smacked by the Ravens. Barely lost to the Patriots. Barely beat the Eagles. And then, like, I was high on this team when they were 4-1.
They've gone 1-3 since then. So it's a tale of 2 teams for them. It's the same team, same colors. It's just they have forgotten how to play, and it's not always so easy to pinpoint this is what happened. And I have no idea what it is with the Chargers. It's not like we've seen before. Herbert out for the season. It's not like Derrick Henry out for the season. Like they haven't lost anybody major. They just aren't playing good football anymore.
Yeah, they got to figure it out. The division is theirs. It's right there if they want it.
Another division where everybody is within a game of each other.
Like, legitimately, it's right there.
Remember how we were talking a couple weeks ago about the Chiefs being 4th in their division?
Yeah, now they're first. Oh, look.
Yeah, that was like a week ago.
Who would have thunk that? So dumb. What happens when the rest of your division loses and you win? One game, and everyone was one game apart. I don't know, man. This Chargers team, I'm not really high on them anymore. Like, they have their destiny in front of them. They can go win this division. Like, if they win out, they win the division. Simple, right? It's all right there for the taking.
Simple. Should be simple.
Because if they win out, they sweep the Chiefs, right? And
Yeah.
then they sweep the Raiders,
Easy head to heads.
and they sweep Denver. So they would own every tiebreaker in the division. So
But yeah, who's your favorite in that division?
no one. I thought it was the Raiders.
I was thinking the Chargers.
I don't
And
know
now
anymore.
it definitely wasn't the Chiefs.
I guarantee you this division will not be decided until week 16. No, there's 18 weeks.
7.
Week 17 at the earliest.
Hmm. The Chargers got some work to do.
And on the other side, I don't know what else to say about the Vikings. They can still make playoffs.
I feel like we're beating a dead horse every time we talk about the Vikings.
This team is talented. I don't like Kirk Cousins, but he's playing well. I can't fight him on that. Dalvin Cook is healthy. How are they 4-5 with this roster? I don't get it.
They're sitting one game out of playoffs right now. They're the 8th seed right now.
They're definitely not winning the division.
No, that's yeah. They are wild card at best. And at best being, I don't know, because they're only one game back from being in 6th. So
Yeah. There's only 2 playoff spots that are technically open.
realistically, there's only 2 playoff spots
I
available.
think the Rams, Cowboys, Cardinals, and Packers, those 4 continue to win a majority of
Yes.
their games, if not all of them.
And they just trade spots.
So those 4 teams I would say as locks. But the Bucks, I can't even lock them in at playoffs.
No, the other 3 spots in the NFC playoffs that you didn't mention are all owned by the NFC South right now.
True.
So I
Which
wouldn't be
I would not have
surprised. One,
guessed going into the season.
no, not at all. One of the NFC South team has to make it in there because they win the division. Wouldn't be surprised if that's the only NFC South team that makes it in at this point.
The worst part is the Seahawks are 3-6 and
They're like 2 games
they're
back.
2 games out. I have to sneeze.
Sneeze?
No, we're good.
No?
Nope. No.
You want to talk about the Seahawks real quick? It's not much to talk about.
They went into Green Bay and then quickly left.
And then they left Green Bay.
They lost 17-0. I mean, it's Russell Wilson's first game back from his finger injury.
He didn't look like Russell Wilson. I understand coming back from finger injury, not the easiest thing. However,
That's all I got for this game.
50%, 2 interceptions, not great. Aaron Rodgers, good enough, not great. Green Bay won. They're going to continue to win.
Yay.
Yay.
The Packers are so fortunate for some reason that they have AJ Dillon, because if Aaron Jones is having a bad game, then AJ Dillon just picks it up and vice versa. It just doesn't stop it. So I don't know. The Packers will keep winning games. The Seahawks, I just
Like you just said, they're only 2 games back, but that gap looks a lot bigger whenever your quarterback is either hurt or is playing like he's hurt.
Yeah. So what a game.
Last afternoon game.
Philly went into Denver and won 30-13, which is not what I expected. I thought Denver was going to build off of smacking up the Cowboys, and they did the opposite.
And they didn't even get close. It was close almost until the end of the third quarter, and then just Darius Slay 83-yard scoop and score, and that was it.
Miles Sanders is coming back. I meant to put that in the notes. Miles Sanders is coming back off of IR. He was designated to return, so they have 21 days to bring him off IR. But I don't know if they really need him.
No, I mean, we've been saying a bunch this season that they need to figure out their run game. Well, kind of figuring it out. 216 yards on the ground this week. 164 of that from their actual running backs.
In the games that Miles Sanders has not played, they've put up 236, 176, and then this game, 216 total rushing yards.
And whenever Miles Sanders is there,
I don't even want to go back and look at how bad all those games were. I don't know if that is them not trusting Miles Sanders in particular, or if this is Nick Sirianni being like, oh, we should start running the ball now, 7 weeks into the NFL. So they started doing it?
Very well could be they finally figured out, wow, our run game sucks. We should do something about it.
It's working.
It's working great. Jalen Hurts had the most carries, which y'all know how we are about quarterbacks being the leading running back. But between the quarterback position and the running back position had twice as many carries.
Yep.
They split duties. And I wouldn't be against them bringing Miles Sanders into the same system. And any time that they want to do a Jalen Hurts run, they give it to Miles Sanders instead.
Yeah. I wish there was a breakdown of... So Jalen Hurts had 13 carries. I wish there was a breakdown of, designed carries or rushed out of the pocket. I wish we could see that breakdown so we could see, how many times he actually is designated to run.
Yeah.
If he's getting rushed out of the pocket, that's a whole different...
Sacks don't count as a run, correct?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
They count against your passing yards.
Yeah. But the actual, 2 sacks he had doesn't count as incompletions or a run.
I mean, the crazy thing is the Eagles are a game back from the playoffs.
What the heck is this year, dude?
Everyone's beating everyone, man. And if the Eagles, to be honest with you, Jalen Hurts doesn't have to do much if they get the running game going, which might be their recipe.
which very well could be the recipe.
So if they just keep building off of what they've done the past few weeks, maybe we see the Eagles in the playoffs.
Very well could.
And the Broncos on the other side are in 12th at 5-5, half a game back from 7th.
Half a game. Is that because of tie or bye? That's going to be
Bye.
tie.
It was a bye. The Chargers are
Bye?
5-4 at the 7th seed,
Okay. Yeah.
and the
Okay.
Broncos are 5-5, tied with the Browns and the Colts. They lose both the tiebreakers to both of those teams. So yeah, they fall to 12th.
Next year, we're just not even going to have a season. We're just going to draw names out of a hat. And that's going to be our playoffs.
Okay, that sounds fine. As long as the Cowboys make it, then I'm okay with
That's
it.
the only way the Falcons make it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if the Eagles can build off of this, and like both these teams still have a playoff shot, which I didn't think
Yes.
I'd say.
Yes, they both do. And it's not like a long shot either for either of them. Denver wins 2 games, they could be sitting in 7. Philly wins 2 games, they could be sitting in 7.
Yeah, the Broncos. Yeah,
It's crazy this year.
they play
It,
they
it
play the
just
Chargers, Chiefs, Lions, Bengals, Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs. I don't think the Broncos make the playoffs.
I don't think the Broncos make the playoffs.
The Eagles, on the other hand, go Saints, Giants, Jets, Washington Giants, Washington Cowboys, and the Cowboys could lock their playoff spot by week
And that,
18. So I mean, Philly could make the playoffs.
are y'all going to gift the Phillies a playoff by a berth?
I would hope we wouldn't, but at the same time, I would like us to not risk anyone.
Yeah. Well, that's going to come. This is obviously 2 months out. We'll talk about this at that point. But this is going to come down to because it could be a situation where y'all are sitting no worse than third, could possibly be second,
hmm
and the Eagles need to win the game to make seventh. So if y'all win and the Eagles win, y'all could be playing each other the next week too, or some kind of weird. Not, but obviously you both can't win.
I
But
would love to find a way for us to be the second seed, then the Eagles be the seventh seed, so we can get a bye in the first round of playoffs.
wow.
Be great.
But it could very well come down to where the Cowboys are sitting easily in third, could possibly move up to second, and the Eagles have a must-win game week 18.
Dude, I don't know, man. It just felt weird saying that both those teams have a playoff shot because I just didn't think I'd say that. But here we
But it's
are.
true. They're one game away from being eliminated and one game away from winning their division.
Week 17, like adding an extra week
That
changes
changes so
many
many,
things.
so many things,
So,
so much.
but to a game that did change everything in the blink of an eye. Kansas City
Mahomes was
has
on my bench.
Kansas City took first place in their division, sole first place, by beating Vegas in Vegas, 41-14. And I will say, this is the first time all season that I have watched the Chiefs play and went, there they are.
That's the team.
That's the Chiefs.
There's not been any other time this season. Which is, I mean, if you look at Patrick Mahomes' stats, just shy of 3,000 yards, 65% completion rating, 25-10 touchdown interception ratio. He's had a good season.
Yep.
But then majority of that comes from the first like 6 games where they went 3-3. And then his last 3 games before this, 166 yards, 1 touchdown, 275 touchdown interception, 200 0 touchdowns interception. This is his second game where he's had 5 touchdowns. This dude threw 50 touchdown passes last year. Where's that Patrick Mahomes? This is the first time I feel like we've seen that Patrick Mahomes.
Which is weird because, like, against Philly, he threw 5 touchdowns and a pick.
But it didn't feel like that because maybe it's because he only threw it 30 times in that game. Where we're used to seeing him air it out 50 times, like he did against the Jets or the Giants. They barely won that game, which also doesn't feel like the Chiefs. This is I 100% to reiterate your point. This is the first time Patrick Mahomes and the boys felt like Patrick Mahomes and the boys.
It it's just weird because like if you, you look at his stats, passing touchdowns 3.335, and then he had a 5 game skid of 2.2011.
Yeah, hence why I benched him.
And for those 5 games, I was like, the first 4 weeks, I was like, okay, Mahomes is playing well, but the rest of the team isn't.
Yeah,
And then for 4 weeks after, or 5 weeks after that, I was like, does this team even exist? Like they went 3-2 in those 5 games, but
it it was the quietest 3-2
they
possible.
played Washington. Their wins were Washington, the Giants, and the Jordan Love Packers.
Yeah, and it's not like they dominated the Jordan Love Packers or dominated the Giants. So this is the first time, to reiterate your point again, that this feels like the Chiefs that I picked preseason and
I,
that we saw last season.
I hate saying this because I say it so often, and it sometimes feels like a cop out. But I want to see if these two teams continue
Can do it.
trending in a certain direction week to week. Because like, awesome, first time we've seen the Chiefs play like this. If it's the only week,
Well, I mean, like you just said, the last time Patrick Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns, he went on a 5 week skid of 2-2-0-1-1 touchdowns.
he plays the
Can
Cowboys next
he
week.
can he maintain this? Because if you want to go back and look at his stats last year real quick, it wasn't last year. When was his 50 touchdowns? Am I going insane? Did he not do that?
It was 2018.
There it is, 2018. Okay. This is the kind of season that we still expect out of Patrick Mahomes. Even last season, which he only threw like 30 or so, and the season before that, he only threw like
Four
30 or
six
so.
3-1 0. They won that game. Interesting. 4-4-4 3-2 6-4 2-2 3-2.
Like, I expect to see consistent points out of Patrick Mahomes.
He threw it minimum
Obviously,
two
it
touchdowns
helps.
in all but 2 games.
Yeah. And then you go look at this season, and he started 3-3-3-5, 2-2. And then just, I don't know. He's not playing bad. It's just the defense isn't playing good at the same time he's playing good, and vice versa.
Kansas City and Tampa Bay are like shocking to me because they were both the Super Bowl teams and we both picked them to repeat. And their quarterbacks are playing like, above average, not amazing like we know them to. But then the rest of their team just like doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like the simulation is breaking. I don't know what's happening.
And it's the same. We can say the same thing with Tampa Bay, just change some of the names around. How do you not produce offense as Patrick Mahomes,
Tyreek Kill.
Travis Kelsey, Miko Hardman?
We have to keep naming players, or are we done?
I mean, we can keep going if you want to,
I'm
but
good.
I mean,
I think
yeah,
that's enough.
it's the same thing with the Bucks. How do you not produce with just everybody that you have?
I don't know, man. On the other side of the ball with Vegas, they looked horrible. No run
It's just not
game.
Vegas
Their
thought
defense
we
was
do.
non-existent. I don't know. I said it before, and it sometimes feels like a cop out, but I need to see the Chiefs continue, right? Like,
Yes.
so this isn't like a fluke Mahomes throws 5 touchdowns win, which sounds weird to say.
Well, I mean, it's very similar to what we were just saying about, like, this is what Heineke needs to do. Regardless of the team situation, he needs to come out here and just ball out. He needs to, or sorry, no, we weren't talking about, well, him too, but Mac Jones. We need to see Mac Jones have a performance, not necessarily like this, but where he is the one that carries the team to the win. Specifically him. Because without Patrick Mahomes, I don't think the team may still win this game, but it's not going to be by 30.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They play Dallas, and if they go in and smack Dallas,
Then we'll, yeah, because Dallas is thriving right now.
right? Like, so if they come in and make me sad, um, then I will be very sad. Uh,
Happens.
but then we will start to talk, and so will everyone else about are the Chiefs back?
Yeah, and it won't take but halftime of that game to have those conversations start perking up.
True, true, true.
So, I mean, as we keep on just looking back at these divisions, because I don't know if you said this, we're halfway through the season now, so we're getting to the point where we can should kind of start being able to see how playoffs are going to play out.
I no,
But we can't this year.
nope.
Take the AFC West for example, with both of these teams in there, the Chiefs and the Raiders. Chiefs lead the division at 6-4. Everybody else is one game or half a game back. 2
Gotcha.
weeks ago, the Chiefs were in last in their division. So I don't think there's like three divisions that are locked up right now in the league.
I'll put it this way:
Locked up.
if you had told me that the Chiefs would have 8 teams ahead of them in points for this season, I would have told you were insane.
No, the Chiefs are the team that we expect to see average 25 points a week.
And if you'd have told me the Chiefs defense is giving up the 7th most points this season, I would have called you crazy.
No, no, that's not how that works. But here we are.
So
Yeah,
I said it last week about the Bengals and the Browns. I need to see the
this needs to
Chiefs.
happen again.
We need to see these two teams in like the next week and the next week. Like we need to see
Yeah,
a trend because we keep seeing teams like go up and then down and then up and then down. Like it's hard to say like where we think they're gonna go when they don't
you
even
mean
know
20
themselves.
teams? Yeah,
Yes, 20 teams. You are correct. I mean, yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it.
yeah. I mean, we can even go ahead and carry this conversation into the Monday night game. The Rams. I've been
Oh,
high on the Rams.
I want to say one thing before we talk about the Rams
Okay.
because I am tired of seeing people say that OBJ is the problem already in LA. That man had a short week and played like 14 snaps.
Yeah.
You
He
can't
got two
expect him.
passes
You can't expect
in
this man to show up on a short week, have 14 snaps, and put up like 1,000 yards. Like, just
they barely had time to work him into practice
they
at all.
barely got to
He
work
got
anyone
two
into the
passes.
game,
Yeah. He got two passes in practice because that's all they could work him in.
and he got 3 thrown at him in the game, and one of them was overthrown.
One of them was not good.
It was the first pick of the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hats off to the 49ers for capitalizing.
them getting Jimmy Ward back on defense. I mean, he obviously made an impact by
He
getting
had
2
two picks in
picks,
the first quarter,
including 1 pick six.
including the pick six. Yeah, like huge.
But I didn't
Even
realize how
even
him coming back was gonna do for the team.
yeah, but even yeah, obviously is a lot more than we expected. Um, but even with those two picks in the first quarter, I did not count the Rams out at that point just yet.
I didn't either.
They didn't they didn't look great, but they came straight back with a touchdown in 2.5 minutes. Ran the field. One thing that San Francisco did really good, and is probably a lot of their success this game. Their first drive of the game, 11 minutes and 3 seconds for 93 yards, 18 plays for the touchdown.
No big deal.
I'm sorry.
It's
The
fine.
Rams let you have the ball for 13 or 11 straight minutes.
It's fine. It's almost a full quarter. It's fine. They basically held the
Yeah,
ball for
because
the
we were
entire
sitting
first
there
quarter.
watching it. We were sitting there watching it, and like they scored, and I checked the time, and there was 2 minutes left in the first quarter. It's like this was the second possession of the game.
The 49ers, to be exact, had 39 minutes and 3 seconds of possession in this game.
A third of that, sorry, a fourth of that was this one drive.
And that was a third, or 2/3, sorry. 2/3 of the entire game. What they held the ball for.
It's impressive. It was very good.
This 49ers team, I'll say it. I've said it 1,000 times, are a quarterback away from being great. If
They
Garoppolo
really
can
are.
do what he did in this game and do it more often, the 49ers will be a relevant NFL football team. Rant
And
over.
I mean, it's a worthwhile thing to keep bringing up though, because it's week in and week out. It's showing how true it is.
Dude,
They're
their team is
not.
so stacked, it hurts. Oh.
They just need a leader. A
And
leader.
Garoppolo can be that guy. He's just not
Garoppolo
doing
can
it.
be. The 49ers are sitting at 4-5 this season. Still one game away from being seventh in the league, or seventh in the NFC, sneaking in. If Garoppolo wants to say this is the game that he figured it out with, they could easily fill in one of those 5 or 6 seeds because they're definitely, again,
100%.
they're 100% not going to win the division.
Nope.
I take that back. 94% won't win the division because maybe the Cardinals lost it. They lost their special sauce and they just took out the Rams. This could end up being a tiebreaker game for them at the end of the season. Who knows? San Francisco more than likely won't win the division. But if Garoppolo wants to figure it out right now, they could finish up at, I feel like 10-7 might be a stretch. But 9-8 might be enough right now in the NFC. There's going to be like 6 other teams at 9-8, but that's not the point right now.
The 49ers, man, it's so frustrating because they're there and then they're not. And then you have the
It's
Rams who are like really there, and then all of a sudden, then they're not.
and then they just forgot how to play football. They got OBJ and they got Von Miller and they put together the Avengers of a football team. And then this.
They've
Like
lost
I don't
back-to-back games,
yeah, which is unlike
and they play the
this Rams
Packers
team.
after their bye week. So like they
Very good timing for a bye week. Could
100%,
not be better timing for a bye week for them.
100%.
So hopefully they can use this week to work OBJ in, work Von Miller in, get the chemistry going between Matthew Stafford and OBJ, and they go to Lambeau and maybe finally make Aaron Rodgers look like half the other offenses in the league that they faced.
God, it hurts, dude. It hurts,
It's
man.
weird. Both of these teams are just being weird, and I don't like it. There's let's see. Before we move on to looking at next week really quick, how many teams right now have a legitimate chance at making playoffs?
Mathematically,
Ma- No,
okay,
realistically, and in your honest opinion, how many teams have a realistic chance at making playoffs right now on both sides?
11 in the AFC.
Okay, I agree with that. The 5 not making it being Broncos, Dolphins, Jets, Jaguars, Texans.
Correct.
Yes. Realistically, in the NFC, it's a little blurrier for me because it could be one
I'm gonna
team
say
can't make it.
I'm gonna say
It
8.
I was gonna say it could be because the Bears could figure it out. Seahawks, I can't. I have a hard time counting out. Giants, meh. Washington, probably not. Eagles have a chance. Falcons, as much as I want to say yes, probably not. We just said the 49ers, if Garoppolo wants to be that guy, could do it. Vikings are going to one possession their way into the 7 seed. And then we've got Cam Newton, Panthers, Trevor Simeon,
Right
Saints,
now, the top
Bucks,
7
Rams.
seeds in the NFC for me are sort of almost for me are almost a lock as the top 7.
Yeah. But to go back to the question, yeah, about 8 or 9 teams in the NFC have a legitimate chance at making playoffs. The Falcons have a negative 45-point differential. Oh, why did I look at this?
Dude,
Holy. I don't know. I feel like I understand we're still only halfway through the season and there's still a lot of football to be played. I can't remember a time in recent history where it's felt this wide open.
Yeah, I
just
can't either.
across the board. There's been times like that a division has felt wide open up until like the last week, but not the whole conference.
The
It's
crazy
odd
part is
times.
like in the AFC, 3 divisions could have like the current division leader could end the season not as a division leader. 3 divisions. I don't think the Colts can catch the Titans. I think the Titans win the division regardless at this point.
Hmm.
But the Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs could lose their division lead.
Yes,
The Patriots are half a game back. The Ravens' whole division is literally on top of each other, and the same with the Chiefs division. Those
the
8 teams
AFC
are like
North. Yeah,
on top of each other.
shoot, the AFC North and the AFC West. Outside of the Broncos, you can drop the Broncos out of the AFC West. You could literally just say pick two from each of those, throw them in a gauntlet, and whoever wins can come out as the division winner. Because that's basically what the rest of the season is going to be for all 7 of those teams.
Pretty much. And then on the NFC side, I think the Packers have their division locked.
Yes,
I think the Cowboys have the division locked.
yes,
The Cardinals could lose the division to the Rams if either of those teams decide they want to remember how to play football.
but it's going to be the Rams or the Cardinals. I agree.
100%. And then the Bucks could lose the division to the Saints or the Panthers. And if by God
Please,
something miraculous happens, the Falcons could take the division. Right? They're only
Arthur
2 games
Smith
back.
needs some of that Tennessee
Mathematically,
magic.
it's there.
Mathematically, it's there. That's why I asked realistic.
Emotionally, it's not there.
Oh, emotionally, it's been gone.
Yeah. So like it's just crazy that 5 divisions could have a division
5
leader in
divisions.
the next 7 weeks.
It for all 5 of those divisions, the division leader could change every week,
It,
and it could literally be any other team in 3 of those divisions. I don't know, man. Let's look forward to week 11 before we start
week
coming
11,
up with
man.
conspiracy theories.
All right, we'll start with a Thursday
Bye weeks.
night. Oh, by weeks. Thank you. I forgot.
Denver. It's worth noting.
Yeah,
Denver and the Rams are on bye this week.
good for the Rams,
Only
so
2.
OBJ can get a little bit more
Perfect
time,
timing
like you
for the
said.
Rams. But that means we have 15 games this week.
We're back.
And all of them are at 1:00. Jesus.
That's usually how it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We'll start with Thursday though. Your Falcons, Mac Jones, and the Patriots show up on Thursday night in Atlanta. I'm taking New England.
I'm taking New England by 10.
That's sort of what I was thinking.
God, it hurts.
Sunday we start with Indy going into Buffalo. I'm gonna take Buffalo by 4.
You know what I just realized just quickly scanning down this? I'm going to hate doing the pick'em tonight.
Uh-huh.
Because that was my plan after this was do the pick'em. And oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Buffalo. Yeah. At most a possession.
Baltimore goes into Chicago. I'm taking Baltimore with a question mark.
It's exactly what I was about to say. I'm take Baltimore by like maybe 1, maybe 30.
I'm gonna this next game. Detroit goes into Cleveland.
Should be Cleveland by a mile.
I'm gonna take Cleveland. I hope they don't pull a Pittsburgh. Do I predict a tie?
I was say, is that even thing? What happened? I think we just all didn't get a point for that game.
You can predict a tie though.
Oh, huh.
But who? Why would you?
It's a tie.
But yeah, I'm taking Cleveland.
Taking Cleveland by.
I think Cleveland by.
Yeah, even
6.
a bad Cleveland is better than a good Detroit.
Should be.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm taking them by less than a possession.
Houston goes to Tennessee. I'm taking Tennessee.
Tennessee by 10.
Green Bay goes to Minnesota.
Green Bay by 4.
Green Bay by 7.
Whatever happens, we agree it's going to continue the trend. Oh, the toilet bowl game of the week.
Miami goes into New York and plays the Jets.
I'm gonna ride with Flacco for this one.
I'm gonna take Tua in Miami to build off of whatever they did this past week.
I'm taking Flacco this time. Cheapest tickets of the week. Just throwing that out there.
$26. All right. Almost as low as the Falcons game.
Hey, shut up.
New Orleans goes into Philadelphia.
God, man. Coin. Can I flip a coin real quick? I don't have a coin.
I'm taking New Orleans. What's your gut telling you?
My gut's saying the Eagles, but is Kamara back this week?
He should be.
See, I feel like with Kamara, the Saints take it. But either way, it's going to come down to like who's got the ball last. I'm just going to stick with the Eagles. Screw it.
We were
Fly
split on
Philly,
that
fly
one.
bird bros.
Washington goes into Carolina and faces the Cam
Carolina.
Newton. Yeah, that one I'm taking Cam Newton. I mean the Panthers. Sorry.
Taking the Cams.
San Francisco goes into Jacksonville. I'm taking San Fran.
Taking San Francisco because even a bad San Francisco is better than a good Jacksonville.
Cincinnati coming off a bye goes into Las Vegas.
Ooh, man.
I'm gonna take.
There's actually a lot of really good games this week.
My gut's telling me Vegas.
My gut's saying Bengals by like 3.
Dallas goes into Kansas City. Bias and non-bias, I'm taking the Cowboys.
Bias and non-bias, I was taking the Chiefs. Where this might be our most split week yet.
Arizona into Seattle. No, it's not Arizona.
Oh man.
Wait, if Kyler Murray's back, it's Arizona.
That's what I was just trying to see.
If Kyler Murray's not back, neither.
Tie. See, both Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins are both questionable. Kyler Murray was limited in practice. Colt McCoy was limited in practice, and DeAndre Hopkins was a non-participant.
I'm gonna stand by what I said. If Kyler Murray plays, I'm picking Arizona. If he doesn't, come back to me.
I'm going with. No, if you have to make a pick right now,
Without Kyler Murray,
without Kyler Murray,
Seattle.
yeah, with Kyler Murray,
Arizona.
that's where I'm at too. I don't think it's fair to make a prediction on this one just yet.
Pittsburgh goes into LA and faces the Chargers.
Man, I don't know.
You sounded so angry about that. You're like, I
Well,
don't
because
know. Like
the Chargers have looked so bad lately. So I'm like, yeah, whoever they're playing right now is probably going to beat them. But the Steelers just tied the fucking Lions. Sorry.
it's
Like, I don't know, man.
I'm taking the
If,
Steelers by 1.
I was going to say, if there's a rebound game for either of these teams, it's going to be by 1. I'm just going to continue the trend. Chargers by 1.
The Giants take Monday night into Tampa. I'm gonna take Tampa because they should win this game.
See, we keep saying that.
If I was to put money on this game, I would pick Tampa 99 out of 99 times.
I'm also going Tampa. Good
Oh,
Lord,
man.
there's a lot of toss-up games this week. Games to watch. Probably best one of the week is going to be Cowboys and Chiefs. Buffalo Colts early game is going to be a great one. Green Bay, Minnesota could possibly be a great one. Eagles and the Saints could possibly be a great one. Bengals, just watch all of them. Just about all of them are going to be good games, I feel like. If you had to pick 2 games, not counting primetime,
To watch,
to watch,
Dallas, Kansas City. I'm stuck between 2.
My other one, other
But
than Dallas,
I
Kansas
have
City, is
Indy,
going to be the Colts and
Buffalo,
the Bills.
yeah, or Cincinnati, Vegas.
Yeah, those are probably 1, 2, and 3 for me.
Yeah, and those are the top 3 games outside of. I mean, I don't even want to watch. The only primetime game I want to watch is Sunday night.
Yeah, that's fair too.
Because, sorry, but Thursday night should be a blowout, and Monday night should be a blowout.
Guess who's going to watch it anyway?
I will watch both games, hoping that they're not blowouts, and hoping for a
Man, I
22.
hate being a fan of a bad team. Sorry. I hate being a loyal fan of a bad team.
I'm glad they used to watch the games because when Dak got injured last season, I stopped watching.
Dude, it
No,
ain't
I
easy.
watched for one game because I was like, maybe Andy Dalton could take us to the promised land. And then I went, Andy Dalton can't take us anywhere. He can't even take us down the field.
Um,
Oh, man. Well, that'll do it for week 10 and week 11. Eddie, I need my fun fact number.
so I'm going to ask you to look at it because I actually asked my girlfriend this, Veronica, earlier, and she was very confused at how I said this. So your number is 500,
I would have
but
assumed, I see it, but I would have assumed like
yeah,
an even record.
I guess. The see saying 500 and seeing point 500 is two different things. But
How many Super Bowls have we had? Is it even?
that's not it. But this is Super
Oh,
Bowl
I was going to say
50.
NFC versus AFC. It's 50-50 in the
I
Super
actually
Bowl.
don't know what that is.
50-50. Is there a coach? Jeff Fisher, he's gone 500 his entire career. No?
No, but I bet it's close.
Is it a does this have to do with a coach?
No.
A team? Like does the fact say like the insert team name here has gone 500 in their history
No.
or no?
It's that if you want to say it that way specifically, no. It is not a single.
So that's to do with a
Uh,
division? A conference. NFC AFC Pro Bowl. It's 50-50.
no.
So it's not it doesn't have to do anything with like one player.
No.
So it has to do with some sort of team division
Think
conference.
okay, because this one's a little out there. Think how often or when's the last time that you read the NFL subreddit? It's been a minute for me.
It months,
Okay. There
maybe even
are
years.
like spin-offs of the NFL subreddit. Like
Mhm.
there you have all your team subreddits, and then you have groups of teams. If that makes sense, if you can remember that.
I got nothing. What's the fact?
Bird teams and cat teams are tied after the Panthers beat the Cardinals this week.
Oh my god.
209, 209, and 10
Oh.
is the all-time record between birds and cat teams.
Okay, so who are the cat teams? I just want to make
Cat
sure that I'm
Panthers.
understanding
Dang it, I had a list of it pulled up at one point.
standings.
It's cat teams are Bengals, Jaguars, Lions, and Panthers.
Okay.
Bird teams: Falcons, Seahawks, Cardinals, Eagles, Ravens.
How is it even? The birds should be destroying the cats.
This is all time.
I
Oh, you're
get
right.
that.
Oh, you're right. Wait a second.
I am concerned.
Cardinals were bad for a long time. Eagles have been not great as of recently. By that I mean like since what, the mid '90s. Outside of like they did win like a Super Bowl or something. Ravens have consistently been 6-10, 10-6, or as long as I can remember. Falcons have consistently been terrible. Outside of like I don't know, we went to Super Bowl once.
What a dumb
So
fact.
I saw that on Twitter today or yesterday. I was just like,
I just want to let you know, do
that's
not
interesting
look
enough.
at Fox Sports NFL's Twitter right now. Just don't do it. Okay? I don't. I'm telling you right now, do
Yeah, I
not.
have to. I have to now.
I'll read the tweet for anyone
I saw it.
curious. It says 28-3. In honor of the Patriots playing the Falcons for Thursday Night Football tomorrow, we had to do it. Sorry, Falcons fans. I mean, they
Yep,
didn't
I'm
really
not
have
watching
to,
anymore.
but
It's okay. I have a more recent, better memory of 28-3 now.
yikes.
Mississippi State came back 28-3 at halftime and won against Auburn 40 in advance. Woo!
Yay.
Yay! Um, what Super Bowl is this? Before I say this,
I have no idea.
I want to say 56, but I feel
Super
like that's not
Bowl,
right.
is it LVI?
That'd be
Yes.
56.
We've had 55
Okay,
Super Bowls.
so we've had 55. NFC has won 21. AFC has won. That's only 40. How outdated is this? Why do you say last updated 2020? That's wrong.
That make
It
no
only had
sense.
45 Super Bowls on there. Oh, it was only counting from 1970. I don't know. It's probably close to 50-50 though. I would imagine it's close to 50. I thought this would be easier to find real quick.
Oh well. Let's jump out of
Through,
here.
I don't know, through 53 Super Bowls. So I guess this was before last year. NFC had 27, AFC had 26. So I guess it'd be 28-26.
You said 53? We're going into Super Bowl 56. You're missing 2 Super Bowls.
I'm trying. Okay, well, if this was through,
What Super Bowl is
so
that through?
I don't see. It starts with saying the name Super Bowl 1 and Super Bowl 2 are retroactively applied. The NFC leads. So this is at 27-26. So that would have been through 53 Super Bowls. So
So
Super Bowl
54
54.
was won by an AFC team.
So 27-27.
And then Super Bowl 55 last year was won by the Bucks, so an NFC team. So it's 28
28-27.
NFC,
Yes.
right? Let's go! We're doing it!
This year it's a coin flip.
And I just want to let
That's
everyone
good to hear.
know who's listening, my friends, anything, like, as a Cowboys fan, if we win the Super Bowl, you will hear me talk about it for the rest of my life.
You know, I can't even be mad at you because the Braves won the World Series.
Yeah, and when I picked you up from the airport, you're wearing a Braves championship hat and a Braves championship t-shirt. And I said, "Oh, did the Braves win the World Series?" And you went,
Go
"Yeah."
Braves.
Oh, let's get us out of here. I appreciate everyone listening, hanging out. Reminder, we do stream all our episodes on Twitch, twitch.tv/meme stream, search you teams. Usually on Tuesdays at 7. I had to take Eddie and his girlfriend to the airport yesterday at 4 a.m., so I was really tired and ended up falling asleep at 7:30. So that's why I didn't record on Tuesday.
Follow the Twitter, meme streams 32 teams.
Nope.
At
Twitter is-
memes 32 teams. If you
There it is.
Google meme streams 32 teams, or to search it anyway. The at is memes 32 teams on Twitter. We will put any updates we have up there, as we did earlier today, did yesterday. The easiest way to find out what's going on.
You can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. Just search Meme Streams 32 Teams. But that will do it for episode 52. We hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Enjoy week 11 of the NFL season. And we will see you guys next week for episode 53. We love you guys. And peace.
Thanks for hanging out, y'all.